Okay, so one way they can often frame questions on pressure is about hydraulics. Now, this used to be specified on your course, and in your specification it was taken off, but that doesn't mean they can't ask questions, but kind of introduce them first of all. So we thought it best to keep this in here a little bit and just go through the very basics of how hydraulic machines work. It's a little bit like moments you would have encountered last year, where the moment in one direction can equal the moment in the opposite direction, except here we talk about pressure. So what we have is a little piston, and a little piston, you can almost think of it like the end of a syringe. So it's in a little tube, and what we can do is we can apply a force here on this tube, and it will exert force on the kind of area at the bottom of this tube. And if we know the area, the surface area of that little piston, we can then work out the pressure, which is F1 divided by A1. Now, that pressure, if we put a liquid in here, which is usually oil or something like that, that pressure will be exerted the whole way through that oil. And because it's not compressible, it means that if we push down on one side, we can kind of feed that oil into another piston. And let's make this one a little bit larger. Okay, so there's another little piston here. Okay, and that pressure created by the first one will act on the second one. So the pressure created here is the same as the pressure here, same as the pressure here, and that pressure pushes against all the sides, but those sides can't move, but this second piston can. Okay, so if you imagine if we push down here on the left hand side, that's going to squeeze this liquid into the second cylinder and push this one up. And what we can do is the upwards force created on this, we'll call this F2, is dependent on the area, the surface area of this cylinder here, A2. So we know that this pressure is the same as the pressure in the first cylinder. So these two pressures are the same. So what that allows us to do is we can use a smaller force on this cylinder, which will create a large enough pressure because the area is small. That pressure will be transmitted to the second piston over here, act on a large area, and then if we have a large pressure times a large area, that's going to produce a very big force. Okay, so there's some questions in the textbook below. Try them, and I'll post solutions and the video solutions below.